You're a creative person who has multiple creative blocks. You can't focus on your goals in life. You feel lazy, down in the dumps. You have no energy. And the only common denominator of that is because of where you're living. The people that you see every day. The people that you talk to every day. The people that you wake up to every single day. That's the only common denominator. There's nobody around you that you feel motivated by. There's nobody around you that you can depend on with your creativity. There's nobody that feeds your soul, makes you think outside of the box. And I'm here to tell you that there is nothing wrong with you. It's just your environment. I realized this energy with me personally when I first started my YouTube channel. And you have to understand that your space and where you lay your head at, where you settle down, and where you are just completely comfortable and not thinking about the energy around you, it holds spiritual energy, it holds both emotional and energetic weight. And stuff like clutter, noise, or chaos, lack of boundaries, and being around people that are just completely careless can definitely shut down our creative flow. I definitely realized that your environment definitely teaches your nervous system how to behave, because after a while, I knew that I was so many positive things. I knew that I was motivational. I knew that my content held value. I knew that everything that I was saying was helping somebody in the world. And then later on, I thought maybe you're not lazy. Maybe your environment is just not inspiring you the way that you want it to. Being in an environment where you feel unseen, being in an environment where you're unheard, or small things like waking up to people yelling in the house, or waking up to anything but quietness, waking up to anything but peace, having to face people every day that do not understand you on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, having to communicate with people who are lacking in so many ways is very hard. And it's hard to be able to thrive in that. Even though you can thrive in so many ways on your own, it does take a community sometimes and people to lean on. And when you don't have that, you feel like this disconnect. And though you individually hold a frequency that is so high, hold a vibration that is high on your own, without having to depend on anybody, without having to lean on anybody, you can absolutely 100% be far more amazing when you feel connected in your space and your energy and in your environment. You can feel more connected, more seen, more inspired. Things will click to you very easily. But in this case, no. If you're constantly tired or unmotivated, you have to ask yourself, is my space reflecting who I'm becoming? And most of the time, it definitely is. And this is not to blame everybody around you or to be a victim of anything. Like, this is not, to, tear down the people around you, but there has to be a lot of accountability taking place with a lot of things. And I feel like sometimes you have to just come to the conclusion that, like, people are, and not everybody is good for you. Not everybody is good for your purpose. Not everybody aligns with what you want to do. Not everybody aligns not even just with your purpose or what you want to do, but your headspace. Not everybody's going to get you. And sometimes it's extremely draining, something that blocks you from a lot of positive things in your life, because you can't even depend on the people around you, or you can't even express yourself authentically with the people around you, because they don't even know themselves authentically. They don't even know themselves. So it's so hard to find that balance of living in an environment where you feel misunderstood, unseen, uninspired, and still trying to do things that fulfill your purpose. And I don't know who else can relate to this, but like, there's been times when I felt so stagnant and so stuck, where I literally feel like I'm going crazy. I have emotional breakdowns, or I sit there and I just cry, because it feels like it's a never-ending cycle of you wanting to do something, reaching your hand out and not being able to grab it because of the energy that surrounds you. And I've talked about this on my YouTube before, where, I make my room my sacred space. I try to put a certain intention into my room. I try to make it somewhere where I feel safe to express myself and to just be my most authentic. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to face people in your life. You have to face your loved ones who just don't understand what it's like to fulfill a purpose, what it's like to be your most authentic. They don't know what it's like to be on a high vibration, and what you do is very, very, how do I say, odd to them, makes them very uncomfortable. And when people are uncomfortable, it makes their low frequency worse, actually. So it's really hard being the light in a room full of people who are completely stripped of their light. People who don't know themselves. It's hard to thrive in a space where there is no groundingness. Is that even a word? Where there's no nothing is grounded. No substance. There's no substance. And I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. You're not alone with thinking this. You're not alone with thinking like, hey, like, I know that I'm not lazy. I know that I just don't sit on my ass every day and just do nothing. I'm trying my best. But when you have to face people that do not have your best interest at heart every day, when you wake up and you just see them and they just they give you that energy, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to just, it's like I can't even fathom just even thinking about it. Your space not matching your spirit can cause a very heavy disalignment, especially when you're around people who try to force things onto you that don't align with you. Or when somebody sees you doing something that makes them uncomfortable, they'll project and tell you that you should be doing something else, when in all reality they're just unhappy. They're just unhappy, and they don't think that it's possible for you. They don't think that the world could be malleable to what you want, to your energy, and that's not the case at all. This is your reminder that you're not lazy. You're just responding to an environment that does not reflect your soul. You simply cannot feel inspired in a space that does not make you feel alive, that doesn't give you a sense of liberation, a sense of freedom, a sense of just even that push of wanting yourself to do better. You can't be in an environment, in a space like that, because when there's people around you that don't want better for themselves, the energy it'll be stagnant. It won't move. It won't flow. And do not beat yourself up about this, because lack of motivation is definitely not lack of discipline. Those are two separate things. It's just a spiritual signal. Your body knows when something is off. Your body knows when something is off in your environment and within yourself. And if you've been feeling stuck in this rut, this is your reminder that you don't need to push harder. You just need to feel different. You need beauty, you need peace, you need a space to feel safe in. This is your reminder also that when you're feeling this laziness, it's not you actually being lazy. It's a call for you to get your energy right and for you to come back to yourself. I know the feeling of wanting better for yourself and wanting to just, like I said, be this light, and then constantly having to cleanse your energy, constantly having to put protection rituals on yourself, and constantly having to protect your energy over and over and over and over again. And realistically, it should not be like that. But some people are just so hurt. Some people are just so damaged that you have to protect your energy in that way. And I know it can get draining. And my beautiful soul, you deserve to be able to just simply exist without having to think about your surroundings, without having to think about what you shouldn't say, what you should say, how you should show up in the world. You should be able to just simply exist and be happy in that way. Never forget your power. Never forget what you're capable of. Never forget the power of your hands, the power of your tongue, the power of your actions. Don't never forget how much of a magnet you are. Regardless of what's going on around you, never forget that. Because if you're here, that's who you are. That's who I'm pulling in right now. Even if it's just small things like opening a window or lighting a candle, lighting an incense, something that's going to make your body, your mind, your soul, in your nervous system, all that, just make it just relax, calm down, tap into your own energy. And I know that in your environment may feel a bit toxic, a bit uninspired, unmotivational. But in this moment, I need you to think of your vessel as your environment and not your 3D world, not everything that you see in front of you. Think of your vessel as your environment. This is your room. Okay? This is your room. You make it exactly what you want to make it because you're powerful like that. You're just like that. You're the light. You're the light in the room. When you walk through the room, you have huge wings. And you don't only shed light on yourself, but you shed light on everybody around you. So use that. Use that to your advantage. You're amazing. You're beautiful. An unstoppable force. You cannot be stopped. And as long as you tell yourself that, you will be okay. And I know it gets draining, it gets tiring, but honestly, give yourself that space to also feel your emotions too, and don't feed into don't feed into the strong concept. You don't always have to be strong as well. Cleanse your energy. And also, this is a perfect time in your life to be selfish. Be 100% selfish, even if it makes the people around you uncomfortable. Be selfish because it's for your own good. Loving yourself is not selfish. Let's remember that, okay? Loving yourself is not selfish. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It's only selfish to the people that don't know how to put themselves first and have always learned or have always been taught to put everybody before them. Watch out for those people, because those are the people that are going to want to just be energy vampires and take all of your energy, because that's what they've been taught. That's what they've been taught to do. Yes, small shifts. If you see me looking out, it's because I have notes. Small shifts matter, like rearranging furniture, like I said, lighting incense, or, you know, maybe adding nature to your room, something that will ground you. Oh yes, in digital environments, that's very important as well. Unfollow everybody on Instagram, on TikTok, everybody that does not feed your soul in the best way possible. Don't do it, okay? Because that energy definitely transmutes through your screen and into you, and we don't want that. Move through your everyday life with pure intention for yourself. Live an intentional life, and as long as you live your life with intent, you will be okay. As long as you put that intentional energy into your body, into your light, into your space, you will be okay. You are sacred. You are creative. You are amazing. You are not lazy. You're not lazy. And that's coming from Mango Mizu herself. I love you so much. Make sure you show up for yourself today. If nobody else around you is showing up for you, show up for yourself regardless, but make sure you show up for yourself today. Do not doubt yourself. Always know that the world around you is malleable to your energy. You are the magnet for what you want. Nothing in front of you defines who you are and what you think, what you say. Nothing. You are exactly who you say you are. And that's just what it is. I love you. Mango Mizu out.